Welcome to Bethlehem Institute of Engineering. Bethlehem Institute of Engineering is affiliated to Anna University, Chennai and approved by AICTE, New Delhi. This institution was established in the year 2008.
Good morning. Today we are going to see about linked list implementation of list. So linked list implementation. So where it comes in the sense, it comes under the implementation of list. Okay. So in the last class we have seen about the data structure definition, then abstract data type, then list abstract data type. So what is list? So list can be defined as a linear collection of similar data items. So that list can be implemented in three ways: array-based implementation, linked list implementation, and cursor implementation. So in the last class we have seen about the array implementation of list, and today we are going to see about the linked list implementation of list. So why we are going for the linked list in the sense to avoid the linear cost of insertion and deletion. In the sense, in case of array, all the elements will be stored in contiguous manner. So for example, if you want to store 100 elements of integer data type, in the sense, so for storing a single integer data, we need 2 bytes. So if you want to store 100 numbers, in the sense, so we need 200 bytes of date 200 bytes of memory in contiguous manner. If the enough space is not available, in the sense, insertion cannot take place in case of array. Okay. So the disadvantage we are having here is, so if we get contiguous memory location, then only the elements can be stored. But so, and that is one thing, and another one thing. So here we are referring to avoid the linear cost of insertion and deletion. So it means, so if you consider the array based implementation, if you are going to insert an element in the beginning of the list, okay, so what we have to do, we have to push down all the elements to one spot. We have to push down all the elements to one spot. We have to make a space in the beginning, and after that only you can go for insertion. And similarly, in case of deletion, if you are going to delete an element at the front of the list, in the sense, we have to push up all the remaining elements to one spot upward position. We have to move all the elements. So we are having a disadvantage in array implementation of list. So to avoid such linear cost of insertion and deletion, we are going for this linked list implementation. Okay. So look at this diagram. So this is the linked list idea. So in case of linked list, the elements will not be stored in contiguous manner. Instead, wherever the memory location is available, there the elements will be stored. So here, look at this. So in this list, we are having 5 elements. All the elements have been stored like this. Okay. So we are not aware of this. So I will explain what is linked list. So linked list can be defined as a linear collection of similar data items called node. Okay, so we will have set of items, and the data items will be of same type, and we are going to store the data items in the form of a node. So you should remember, if it is a linked list, the element will be stored in the form of node only. Okay, so this is the node, and each node has two parts. So what are the two parts? We are saying that all the elements, whatever element it may be, all the elements will be stored in the form of a node, and each node has two parts. The first part contains the data or element, and second part will contain the address of the next node. That is, it can be called as a pointer or link to the next node or next pointer. Okay, understood? A node has two parts. The first part will contain the actual data, and second part will contain the address of the next node. So here, in case of our linked list, the elements are not at all going to be stored in a contiguous manner. Instead, wherever the memory location is available, the element will be stored in the form of a node. So that node will contain the address of its successor. Okay, that is the next node address it will hold. Okay, so here the second part is actually we are saying that it contains the address. So it means it's a pointer. So we can say that. So you should know what is pointer. Pointer is nothing but a variable that is used to hold the address of next node. Okay. So in our linked list, so if you are having 10 items, if you are having 10 data items, we need 10 node. Okay. So the last node next pointer will be 0. So look at this diagram so that you can understand. So in the list we are having 5 elements, that is A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. A5 is the last element in our list. So here if you want to store this A1, it should be stored in the form of node, and this node is having two parts. The first part contains the element A1 and the next part contains the address of this A2. That's why arrow has been started from here. Okay, that is from inside this part. Okay, so this means it contains the address of this node. Okay, so a2 is also stored in the form of node, and in this, that is the data part, we are having the element a2. Its next part will contain the address of its successor a3. Similarly, A3 has also been stored in the form of a node, and in this data part it contains the element A3, and in this next part it will contain the address of its successor node. Okay, that is the successor node is A4, this node. And here also the element has been stored in the form of node, and here also the element A5 has been stored in the form of node. And we know that A5 is the last element in the list, so its next pointer will be made as null. Okay, now this is the actual implementation of linked list. But actually, what will happen in the sense, for our understanding purpose only, we are drawing the linked list like this. But in reality, in computer system, how this has been implemented. Okay, so consider the element A1 has been stored in the memory location 215, and it contains, in its next part it contains one address 800. So which means in in the location 800, the next element is getting, the next element has been stored. So it will go for referring the memory location 800. In the memory location 800, we are having a node. So in the data part, we are having the element A2, and in its next part, we are having the address 740. So next we have to refer the address 740. So in this 740, we are having the element A3 in the data part, and in the next part, we are having the memory location 256. So here actually this will be 256. So in 256, we are having the element A4. Okay, that is in the data part we are having the element A4, and in the next part we are having 0. So it means this is the end of the list. Only we are having 4 elements. Okay, so this is how actually in computer memory the linked list is getting stored. Okay, now, so if you want to implement this node, we have to go for using the structure. As you all know that a structure in C begins with the keyword struct followed by the structure name. So to whom we are going to write the structure definition for this node. So we have given the name as structure name as node here. Okay, so structure begins with the keyword struct followed by structure name, then open the curly brace. So here we have to specify the structure elements, and we are going to write the structure for this node. As this node is having two parts, the first part is element. The element may be of any type. Okay, integer, character, float, string, double, long, whatever it may be. So what we are going to do, we are going to specify its data type as element type. Okay, instead of specifying the exact data type, we are specifying as element type element. And in this part, that is the second part contains the address, so we are giving the data type as position, then next. Okay, then as the node is having only two elements, we are going to close our structure definition. And if you want to access the element inside this node, so how you have to refer in the sense, first we have to specify the structure name, then specify the arrow operator, then specify the field name, that is the structure, this name. Okay, if you want to access the element in the sense, you have to refer using node element. If you want to access this address in the sense, you have to refer using node arrow next. That's all. Okay, so you should remember, in linked list, the series of elements will be stored not in contiguous manner, that is in adjacent memory location the element is not at all going to be stored. Okay, so you should know what is linked list. So linked list can be defined as a linear collection of similar data items called node, and each node has two parts. The first part will contain the data or element, and second part will contain the address of the next node. Okay, so a node can be implemented using structure as follows. Okay, then next, so already we have seen some of the operations that we can perform on the list. So here, print list, as you all know that print list, it's a operation which is used to print all the elements. So this will take linear time to execute. For example, if you are having 10 elements in the sense, so that time it will take, if there is 5 elements in the sense, so 5 elements store பண்றது, how much time it will take, that will be the linear time. Then find kth of is very expensive in case of our linked list implementation. Okay, so here the deletion, we are saying that deletion is somewhat easier. Okay, but insertion operation is easier only, but we have to allocate the memory first, then after that only we can go for insertion. So there two pointers will needed to be executed, but in case of deletion only one pointer has to be changed. No need to add the pointers, just we have to change the pointers, that's all. Okay, so here look at this diagram. In this diagram we want to delete the element a3. So once you want to delete this element A3, so the next element of A2 will be A4, right? So when you see this diagram, now this node, that is this node contains, that is this node actually contains the address of this A3. If you delete this element A3 in the sense, so the successor of this A2 will be A4. So in this part, instead of this address, instead of the address of this node, as we have deleted this node, we should have the address of this node, that is the A4 node's address should be present in this A2. So what we have to do in the sense, just we have to change the pointers. In the sense, instead of these two arrows, we should have the arrow from A2 node to A4. That's all. Okay, this is how deletion is going to take place in linked list. Now this is how insertion is going to take place in a linked list. So here in the list we are having 5 elements, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Now we have to insert the element X after this A2. So what will happen? The sense, first we have to create a node like this, and in this node we have to insert the element, then we have to change the pointers. Okay, so instead of having the arrow from A2 to A3, we should have the arrow from this node A2 to this new cell, and we should have the address of this A3 node in this place. Okay, now, so if you do this, if you implement this concept in 3 places, we will actually go wrong. Okay, so the first place is, there is no way to insert the element at the front of the list. In case of array implementation of list, wherever you want to insert, we can insert. But when you go for looking at this linked list, there is no way to insert the element at the front of the list. Then deletion from the front of the list is also a special case. The reason is the starting of the list will be changed. Then the third thing is, as the deletion algorithm requires the knowledge of the previous node. Once if you want to delete a node, we should have the knowledge of the previous node. Okay, so we are having three problems. So how to determine the previous node, that is a problem. So to solve all these problems, we are having a solution. Okay, so what solution? In the sense, we are going to introduce a new node at the front of the list. So for what purpose we are going to introduce this new node? In the sense, to keep track of the starting node. To hold the address of the first node, we are going to have this new node. Okay, so we are going to introduce a new node at the front of the list, and the node is called as the sentinel node or header node or dummy node. Always we should assume the header in position 0. Okay, the first element will be in position 1, second in position 2, likewise. Okay, so this is the linked list with the header. So look at this linked list. Here we don't have any link header, but here we are having header. Okay. So the purpose of this header is to hold the address of the first node. So here our first node is this A1. So this address, that is the address of this first node, will be held by this header node. Okay. Next, we are going to see, so already we have seen this. So this is the structure definition for our node. And now we are going to write the routine to check whether the list is empty or not. Okay. So we are going to see the operations one by one using linked list implementation. Okay. So first we are going to check whether the list is empty or not. Okay. If the list is empty, in the sense, so we can say that the header will not contain any address. That is, the next part of header node will be null. Okay, so you should remember, in the header part, in the header node, in the data part, there won't be any element. Okay, so only the next part will contain the address of the first node. So you should remember, in the header node there won't be any element. Okay, so now we are going to write the function to test whether the list is empty or not. Okay, so if the list is empty, so which means there won't be any header node. So we can assume that, so if the list is empty, in the sense, so its next pointer will be null. Okay, so that's why we are going to check. So this is the function to do that. Int is empty of list L. So if the next part of the header node is null, then we can say that the list is empty. Okay, next we are going to check whether the current element is the last of the list. In the sense, we are going to give an element and we are checking whether this is present in the last of the list. So if so, so how will you identify this will be the last of the list? If its next point is null, right? If its next pointer is null, then we can say that that will be the last position of the list. So we are specifying one position and we are checking if its next pointer is null, then we can say this is the last element in the list. Okay, then next we are going to look about the we are going to write routine for find. Already you know that find is used to return the position of some element. Okay, so as it returns the position, we have specified the return type as position and the function name is find. Okay, so we are going to find the position of a particular element. So we are giving the element in the list. So what will happen? In the sense, P is equal to L next. In the sense, first we are going to, as we don't know where the element has been specified. Okay, so first we have to determine the position. So to determine the position of the particular element, we are going to write P is equal to L next. In the sense, so consider this is the header. Listen ma. So we are having, so listen. So we need to find the, so here we need to find the position of A2. So how will you find? We know that the position of A2 is, so this is in, header is in position 0 and this A1 is in position 1, A2 is in position 2. So we are checking whether this is in, uh, whether the given element is in last position or not. Okay. So how we have to check in the sense, P is equal to L next. So in the sense, this node will be named as P. Okay. And P is equal to L next in the sense, this is your L, and L next, to which node the L next point, that node will be called as P. So this is our P now. Now we are going to check. So for what purpose we are checking in the sense, this is for traversing to end of the list. To find the particular element, we are using this lines. If while P is not equal to null and P element is not is equal to X, so if both condition are true, then P will be made as P next. So here check P is not equal to null. So this is your P. P not equal to null. Yes, in the sense P is having some element. Okay, this condition is true. And P element not equal to X. So here our element is A2. So inside this P, we don't have the element A2. Okay. So in such case, what we have to do, P is equal to P next. In the sense, we have to change the P. So now P next is pointing to this node. So now our P, this is this node. Okay, this is your P now. Now again the while loop is going for checking the condition while P not equal to null. Yes, P is not equal to null. And P element not is equal to X. But here P element equal to X. So this condition has been failed. So what will happen in the sense, this is going to return the position. So what is the position? So here the position is 2. So we are getting the position as 2. That's all. Okay. So this is how we have to check. Okay. So we can say that this element A2 is present in the last position. Okay. Then next we are going to see how insertion is going to take place. Okay. So in three cases we can perform insertion. Insertion at the beginning, insertion at the middle and insertion at the end. Okay. So here we are going to see how, so here insertion at beginning, insertion at middle and insertion at end. Three cases are possible for insertion. So insertion at middle in the sense, so once we give a element, this will be inserted after the specified position. Okay, if we specify the position as 3 2, after this 2 only the element is going to be inserted. Okay, so for that we are going to see the first, let's see the diagram. Okay, so for example, consider we are going to insert a element X and the position given is 2. So which means after this specified position 2, the new element will be inserted. So already in position 1 we are having the element A1. In second position we are having A2. So after this position 2, the new element is going to be inserted. So if you want to insert a new element in the sense, first we have to create a node like this, and we are going to name the new node as term cell. Okay, that's why I have given 1. Okay, so after that, inside this term cell, in the element part we have to insert the data, and in the next part we have to change the pointer. Okay, so how after insertion, A2 should contain the address of this term cell, and this term cell next part should contain the address of this node A3, right? So actually this A2 node contain the address of its next node, that is A3's address it will contain. But now after inserting the new element X, we have to change the pointers. Okay, So how the pointers has been changed? We have written this. We have the routine here. Look at this. Void insert of, we are going to insert an element in the list. And a position has been given. So if a position has been specified, after the specified position only the new element will be inserted. So if you want to perform insertion, first we have to create a node. So we are naming it as term cell. So for the term cell, first we have to allocate the memory. How we have to allocate the memory? In the sense, based on the size of struct node. Okay, next we are going to check whether memory is available. If so, if not, if there is no enough memory, in the sense it is going to display as out of space. Otherwise, so in case if memory has been reserved for this term cell, in the sense, so for in the term cell, in its element part we have to insert the element, then the term cell's next part will be made to point p next, then p next will be made to point term cell. So here, so we have given the position as 2. So this is our p now. Okay, so p, so how you have to write the coding? In the sense, term cells element, term cells element part, term cells element part equal to x. Okay, so this is the fourth statement. So this thing, that is term cell element part, we are inserting the element x. Okay, then the term cell next equal to p next, in the sense the term cell next is pointing the p next. Okay, already this p next is pointing this place, the same place will be pointed by this term cell next, then p next should point this term cell. That's all. Okay, then next we are going to see how insertion is going to take place at the beginning. So beginning, in the sense, after the header node we are going to perform the insertion. Okay, so here the same concept. First we have to create a node like this, then in its element part we have to insert the element, then in its next part we have to change the pointer. Okay, so first we are going to create a node, then in the term cell element part we are inserting the element, then we have to change the pointers. Okay, so this is the routine for achieving the thing. So here what we are doing, in the sense, we are creating a term cell and we are allocating the memory, and we are checking whether memory is available or not. If it doesn't get the memory, in the sense, it is displaying the messages out of space. Otherwise, in the term cell element part we are going to insert the element. Then how we have to change the next part? Look at this diagram. So term cell next equal to L next. Previously this L next is pointing this node. Now our term next is going to point this node, and our L next is going to point the term cell. Okay, so that's what these three statements are. For those things, these three statements, that is this law, these three statements are written. Okay, and this is how insertion is going to take place at the end. And in a sense, it is very easier. First we have to create a term cell, then in the element part we have to insert the element, then its next part will be made as null. Okay, so the previous nodes next pointer will be made to point term cell. That's all. Okay, so this is the routine for inserting at the end of the list. So position term cell, then p is equal to L next. So for what purpose we are having this p equal to L next while p next not equal to null, in the sense, to traverse to the end of the list. So for inserting at the end of the list, we should traverse up to the end of the list. For that purpose we are having these statements. Okay, so other than this, these statements are simple, as we have studied in insertion at the beginning as well as insertion at the middle. Okay, and now we shall move to the deleting an element in a list. So this routine is going to delete an element in the list. So if you want to delete an element in the list, only one pointer has to be changed. But in case of insertion, we have to change at least 2 pointers. But for deletion, only one pointer has to be changed. But in addition with that, we should have a knowledge of the previous node. Okay, so how the previous node will be identified, in the sense, by making a function call to this find previous. Okay, so this find previous routine will be similar to find routine. Already we have studied about the find routine, and this is the routine for deletion operation. So first itself we are making a call to find previous node. Okay, so once the previous node has been identified, after that only deletion is going to take place. Okay, so here if p next is not equal to null, then only this condition is, this deletion is going to take place. If p next is not equal to null, then the node to be deleted is made as the term cell. Okay, so term cell equal to p next, in the sense p is nothing but the previous node. Okay, previous node. So p next is named as term cell. Okay, then we are changing the pointers. After changing the pointers, we are going to free the term cell. So what is the use of this free function? This is nothing but this is used to free up the memory space. So in insertion, we are studying about malloc function that is going to allocate the memory space. This free function is going to delete the memory, allocated memory. Okay, and this is the find previous routine. So this find previous routine is going to return the position of the previous element. Okay, and next we are going to see about the types of linked list. Okay, so in linked list we are having three types: singly linked list, doubly linked list, and circularly linked list. So singly linked list is similar to our linked list implementation of list. Okay, whatever you have studied in linked list implementation of list, everything is coming under singly linked list. Okay, then next we shall see about doubly linked list. After that we shall see about circularly linked list. So in the next class we can see about the doubly linked list as well as circularly linked list. Okay, okay, thank you students. So with this we can wind up. Okay.